Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I have a very serious video to put out because I'm going to explain something about CBDCs that most people do not comprehend. As a matter of fact, they think it's going to be great. Economists are hailing this as it will be great because it'll increase the velocity of money and it'll help spur spending. But I want to tell you about the dark side of this aspect of central bank digital currencies. This is a story out of Zero Hedge. Please share this. I don't ask that very often, but we need to get this information out because what I'm going to share is very easy logic, and one aspect of a digital currency that should scare you, especially if you are the type of person that believes that there is a day where something that you believe in will be censored and that you will no longer be able to share it. Okay. And I'll explain it. You'll start to come to these conclusions of what's going to happen here in this story. Here we go. Out of Zero Hedge. CBDCs with expiration dates, restrictions could target social policies, economists tell the WEF, the World Economic Forum. And do me a favor, hit the thumbs up if you agree with me that the WEF, World Economic Forum, is not your friend and they are here to damage you. And when they say things like, by a certain date, you'll own nothing and be happy, that's not really true happiness. All right, just remember the picture of a lion that's in a zoo, that's in a cage, looks fat and fluffy and strong and beautiful and majestic, as opposed to one that's in the Serengeti that looks like, there's fleas around him and he's sort of gaunt and stuff and he has to go hunt his own food. But you answer, which lion do you believe is truly free, who is truly happy? There are a lot of people that just get fed every day and they have their free cell phones from the government and they're just happy and they're called homeless. They're literally on the side of the street. You tell me, are you happy because you have to go to work? Do you feel fulfilled because you have to go and hunt and gather your own food, your own money? Or do you want to be just free and sitting on the side of a freeway in a tent in your own filth? Honestly, think about this right now, okay? So here we go. Expiration dates and restrictions on less desirable purchases and some of the key advantages behind central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, according to an economist at the World Economic Forum. So what they're doing is they're pumping you full of propaganda to get you to think that this is going to be great. The WEF hosted the 14th annual meeting. And hold on real quick. I'm going to explain something at the end of this video. Stick through how they plan on firing dopamine off in your brain and how they're going to get you addicted to this currency. All right. So stand by for that. The WEF held its 14th annual meeting of the new champions in China, also known as Summer Davos. During one of the 30-minute panel discussions on June 28th, Cornell University professor Eswar Prasad explained that the global economy is at the cusp of physical currency essentially disappearing. I completely agree. That is the plan, just so you know. As this CBDC rolls out, we have about a 3 to 5 year rollout plan to completely eliminate cash. Okay, that is very, very serious. Think about control. Think about what they're going to do to silence you. We only have so much time to fight back with this. Okay. And that programmable CBDCs and the technology behind these new forms of money could take the international economic landscape towards a dark path or a better place. Prasad contended that one of the huge potential gains for the digitalization of money is the programmability of CBDC units and attaching expiry dates. Governments can also utilize central bank money to socially engineer society. Please understand how serious that is. The governments want to socially engineer society, which means you are not allowed, if they are doing something heinous and evil, to speak out against it. Understand where we're going. This is Orwellian. It is also following what Hitler did. Okay? You could have a potentially better, or some people might say darker world, where the government decides that units of central bank money can be used to purchase some things, but not other things, that it deems less desirable, like, let's say, something that goes in the pew pew. You know, the projectile that goes in there, the pew pew. You get what I'm saying? Because I've got to be very careful with what I say. Or drugs, or pornography, which I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to cut that out because they want society to be degraded. Okay? So just understand that. They're going to go for the first thing. They're going to let everybody buy drugs and pornography. Okay? They want society dumbed down. They want them messed up in the mind. They want your mind degraded through things like fluoride and through prescription drugs. They want you gacked out. They don't want you thinking for yourself. They don't want you eating meat. This is very serious. Oh, and talking about meat, let's just talk about that because there's an attack on red meat around the world. They don't want cow farts. They're saying the cows are farting and destroying the ozone. But Davos, they can take their private jets, right? As a United Airlines CEO just getting ripped on because his stuff's costing so much, yet he's taking private jets somewhere, right? Okay, these plans are for you. They don't want you eating red meat because they want you sick and hurt and scared and your brain function not there all the time, okay? I'm gonna start doing some videos about that because I just went through a 2-week period that something changed my life and a revelation. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that here, but understand this programmability and how serious this is. The author of Gaining Currency and the Dollar Trap proposed that CBDCs possess unique characteristics and could be employed as a conduct of economic policies in a very targeted way, or more broadly for social policies. That could really affect the integrity of central bank money and the integrity and independence of central banks, Prasad stated. So there are wonderful notions of things that could be done with digital money. But again, I fear the technology could take us to a better place, but equally has a potential to take us to a pretty dark place. Let me explain. Let's dive into what the expiration dates have to do with this. CBDC expiry dates. Integrating expiry dates with CBDCs has already been discussed with various central banks worldwide. I know of a special plan that they are going to use this. I'm going to explain that in a second. The Bank of Canada published a paper in 2021 entitled Best Before Expiring Central Bank Digital Currency and Loss Recovery. The institution weighed the pros and cons of expiration dates, asserting that an expiry date would automate personal loss recovery. With this feature enabled, digital cash could not be spent after its expiry date. Consumers whose digital cash expired would automatically receive the funds back into their account without having to file a claim. All right, that is not going to be used. And I'm going to explain in a second. An expiry date that is too soon is inconvenient, but a date too far in the future slows down the reimbursement of digital lost cash. So they're trying to show you and spin this into something good. But this is where it's going to get scary. Let me explain this because the story goes on to stuff, but it's a lot of propaganda. This is the plan. I read about this a long time ago, back in like 2014, 2015, on some, let's say, parts of the internet that they are having a hard time controlling. And I believe this to be true in my heart and in my spirit. What is going to happen? These expiry dates for the central bank digital currency is going to be used to get you addicted to CBDCs. What they're going to do is during an economic collapse, and it's a planned collapse, they're going to say, and remember, the narrative has already been put out there. When COVID happened, the narrative was, we can't get the money out fast enough to you. We're trying to get you the needed money because we're forcing you. We have to stay at home and lock you into your closets, your homes. And so we're going to get you money, but we just simply can't get the checks out fast enough. That was a narrative that was being pushed. Their plan is now they're going to do the same thing. The economic collapse happening, everybody's getting laid off. We're printing money as fast as we can, getting it to the people that need it. And just everyone that needed money back then, they got their money. All right, nobody went without. And so they're going to say, we're sending checks, but they already have the central bank digital currency. It starts this month in July, right? And they're going to go, oh, we do have a new tool. And we can get money to you right now. All you need to do, and they'll make these announcements over the news band, just all of it, emergency thing. You just go on to your app store, your Play Store, and you go to the Fed Now app, and you download the app, and you're going to use your cell phone number, your social security number, and there's, I believe, a country code they're going to type in, and then you're going to verify who you are. You're going to scan a picture of your face. It's going to have biometric stuff. And what they're going to do is they're going to instantly inject, and I have heard, and I believe it's going to be literally as much as like $10,000 per person. And it's going to be instantaneously put on your phone. You could spend it anywhere that a credit card's accepted. And they're going to say, but there's a catch. Because we gave you this money to do your duty as an American citizen to uplift the economy, What is going to happen is we are going to put an expiration date on this money. It's going to be in your account for like the next 30 days, the next 60 days, whatever. You have to spend it on anything you can to boost the economy. Go spend it at restaurants, spend it at Walmart, do whatever. And what's going to happen is the dopamine is going to be triggered in your brain, and it is going to be the greatest psyop in financial history. And you're going to, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I have to spend it. So even the people that don't necessarily need it to buy food because they've got money, they're going to be running out and going and buying the Prada bags. They're going to be putting down payments on cars. They're going to do all this stuff. And this is simply a customer acquisition cost. Because once they get you hooked on this, and then there's going to be all these stories about how bad cash is because it spreads germs, it's used for illicit activities. This digital currency can be used for illicit activities. I want you to understand that. Be very understanding of that. They're going to convince you cash is bad and we need to get rid of it. And it's just an inconvenience. Because ultimately, what they're going to do is they're going to control your life. If you're caught saying anything against them on the internet, they're going to take money out of your account. Look at what PayPal did just a while ago, where they said, if we catch, they're a payment processing app, for heaven's sakes. They came out and said, if we catch you spreading misinformation on the internet, we can fine you $2,500. Are you kidding me? Who are you, the police? Yeah, they're the banks. And remember, they have ultimate control. Whoever controls the money system controls the world. Don't ever forget what the Rothschild said. So we need to realize that we are in very serious dark days. And this is going to be used as a customer acquisition cost to fool millions and literally billions of people. And we need to wake up. We need to wake up now. So how do you get rid of it? You can't stop this from happening, but I want you in a position that when this happens and you're given the money, that you're not in debt, you have money on the side, you have gold and silver that's going up, because when this is going to happen, you want to see what happens to gold and silver prices. When there's a crash like this, where they're implementing this, just wait. I want you buying assets. I want you either paying off debt with it, or I want to see you buying assets that are going to increase. But until that day, we're not going to know where to deploy that cash until we get a really good frame of what's going on in the economy. But it's going to happen during dark days, and people are going to fall for this hook, line, and sinker. This is like me telling you 4 years ago that there's an event coming, and I did know about it ahead of time. It was published, and it was prophesied multiple times. There's an event coming that everyone's going to be forced in their homes, and your whole life's about to change through new laws and regulations. This is that scenario a couple years ago on cocaine. This is very serious. If you understand how serious this is, please share this video and hit the thumbs up. We'll try and wake up the algos. And I just speak over this positively, this video, that this video will reach the masses, the right people with ears to hear and eyes to see. And it may not be a ton of people, but it will be the right people. And it's going to ignite a fire in their heart and in their minds. Hope you have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.